into it, no more waiting around, straight into match number 2, and we'll obviously already have something a little bit different. No north side here, Harvester, bit of the central POI here for the opening zone. But one discussion sort of that I wanted to continue on that we had, and obviously only a very brief amount of time to touch on, was the location, right? You bring all these Watsons, and obviously you get an early green circle onto survey camp. Made it really easy for all of those northern teams to just push straight in, bunker down. I do wonder, especially now that we've got this kind of Harvester POI, if it does finalize on the sort of more outer skirts of this POI, and it is a bit more open, do we see those teams that are bringing, say, a crypto seer combination have a little bit more success?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, right? With the double recon characters, it does seem like a little bit of a double up in some situations, but you can almost sort of treat them. You know, they both also have a reasonable amount of fight utility as well, Xenox. So it's, I don't know what it is, but I swear, like, Respawn just keep chucking a lot of power into these recon characters, and so I think that's why we're ending up with so many of them on teams. Because they just tend to be so powerful. I mean, Valkyrie's been tuned down so many times now. Finally, the you know, the missile swarm is not that great anymore. It's actually kind of hard to get some damage with it, whereas it felt like before it was actually quite oppressive. But yeah, look, other heroes like characters like Seer, still incredibly powerful. Haven't seen much of a tuning on him just yet. That said, we are finally seeing a little bit of those aggressive characters coming through with a bit of Horizon as well as a bit of Fuse in today's lobby.
A little bit of an early, I don't even want to say the word battle, just a glimpse as to what could be here. PK early on, just running between Buram, along with now T4 as well, just in and around that. Obviously Harvester going to be a center factor early on. Buram, good position. Played well in the last game, of course, to get the win. They had early position over towards survey camp, played that position well. Done so again here, just to the west of Harvester, just outside of staging. We saw, obviously, PK were close by. Did give them a little hello, but backed off over towards Harvester. And yeah, Buram have got all the space in the world now.
This is Dreamfire over at Landslide. They're trying to currently keep out Hermagerd, who have tried to rock up, and I've got to say, you're running into a Dreamfire in the form that they're in today, Xenox, I would be skedaddling. I would be going in the opposite direction very fast.
And obviously you see that Bangalore and you're just like, nope, just get out of there, run away as soon as you can. Obviously had a really good success in the last game with it.
It's actually a very good point, because if you see the Bangalore, you know it's Dreamfire as well, right? Like, you don't even need to check the skins. They are the only team, I believe, playing the Bangalore composition currently. Just need to check our... yeah, they are the only team. Yep, we've got 11 different team compositions today, by the way.
That's crazy. Especially when you consider the meta and what it sort of has been. The Seer, the Valkyrie, Watson has been quite stagnant, and then it opens up to 11 different team composition. There we United. What a bad game from them as well to start with. Good shots.
Very, very close. Zabby is out with a sliver of health right now, but Dreamfire, it looks like they're going to finish the job off for Dewa and grab that one. That's it. Overlook also got some action going on. ADL and Ant. Also scuffling up there. 20th guaranteed. Also having a look at it. They're a bit further to the right of your screen. You can just sort of see them up near the kill feed there. And Ant have completely routed ADL.
Yeah, I mean, they're just chasing them down at the moment. Geiger already obviously gone. Heck and Legacy just trying to get out of there. Legacy able to pop that bat, knowing that they're basically being chased down. This is obviously extremely far away from where that circle is at the moment. Ken, the bub, Legacy now down, and probably out for the count. ADL just completely reliant on Heck to get out and survive. Doesn't have those banners though. And I'm not sure if there's going to be an opportunity to go back and get them either.
Doesn't have a zone in his favor. He's well far out of that. Ant are even sort of pushing their luck a little bit here. Because I'm not sure they've realized that 20th Guaranteed are actually lying in wait for them. And the shots are going to open up now. You can see Trent was ready and waiting. And at this point, Ant are really going to have to consider their options. Phoenix kits being popped for the team here. They've got to try and get their way out. A 20th going to be committing and you know, spending some med kits of their own just to take this fight. It doesn't actually look like it.
Yeah, I mean, getting that damage onto Trent actually ends up being a big reprieve for Ant. You know, you basically crack him, get him low, you're inside of the zone as well, so you're already taking damage for free. So as soon as that damage gets applied onto Trent, that actually just relieves so much for Ant. Heck, now over towards Survey Camp. They're actually Ant somewhat behind, actually over Climatizer now pushing close by. These teams will be coming in very, very late though, and this is unfortunately the downside of sort of just battling and fighting over in the zone this early on. It is not going to pay well for them later on. You're coming in late, everyone else has got position. You know, you're a little bit beaten up. Meds might be on the low end of the supply as well.
Circle continues to shift west. We'll see just after this one closes, we'll get a glimpse quickly of where the next one goes. You can see Moist have committed to staging. I guess they're just playing the history angle here, Xenox. We've already had one that landed just on the balcony, I guess, the platform of staging itself. And playing the command center there inside was essentially God spot. So, ooh, this one goes a little more... that's actually a hard one to call. I'm still not sure where that one is going to end up. It could bounce around a little bit. Could go back to Moist. Maybe this is more of a Harvester circle. It's kind of just sitting there in the middle, though, and teasing us a little bit.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to before. If this does actually sort of not eventuate onto Harvester, and it does sort of stick out a little bit, and it's a bit of that open area, I wonder, is that going to be a detriment for the likes of Bureau Ram? You have to go outside with those Watson fences.
I just love this with Anna pulled up on the last member of ADL Wolves as he's just, you know, lovingly crafted them several med kits for them to use. Oh, that's nice of him. What a giving, sharing fellow.
Very nice, very friendly. Unfortunately, though, for Ant, I mean, this is nice, but I still think in the long run, it is not going to bode well for them. Fortunately, they're in a location that was great for match number 1. Match number 2, though, not the case. They got a long rotation in towards this circle. I mean, if they do push in for a landslide, there is a chance they can actually find themselves an avenue through the canyon just south of it. But other than that, they're coming in quite late. It may actually benefit them if it does not go further onto Harvester, which has already got quite a lot of teams on that POI.
Yeah, two teams who are pretty far away from Harvester at the moment, Truth and Dreamfire. Truth do manage to Valk ult over Dreamfire, but they're both looking to take the Vault Tunnel through back to the zone. Potential options to rotate south through staging, but Dreamfire want the fight. We know that from the last game, Xenox. They're hungry for these kills, but Truth have actually managed to get the high ground position up on the landslide platform. Is Dreamfire's aim good enough to overcome that disadvantage?
And this is what I was saying about this position, is that the canyon was free, but SRY have actually just pushed into it now, so they can gatekeep either of these two teams, depending on who comes out of this one alive, Dreamfire or Truth. Dreamfire just holding a little bit of that lower ground position. How much does SRY push out here? I mean, they are actually pushing in to the point where they might just be able to third-party this. Dreamfire do have to be careful of their backside as they're continuing to put the pressure onto Truth.
Yeah, I think SRY are just going to wait in that tunnel. They're going to wait until they see some downs happen in the kill feed, and then maybe they'll think about it. Currently, just playing it kind of safe. They actually took a bunch of damage there. I'm not sure if that was from Cyajin. Looks like he was taking up the other angle just to discourage them as well. You can see they're a little bit further back in the tunnel now. They've actually got the Watson fences and the gen set up on high ground now, where Dreamfire can't touch it, can't get an angle on it. So this is a really good position for Truth Esports, using the crane to their advantage as well. Round closing now, so they've got about 30-40 seconds before the cover that both teams are using will be in the zone and no longer hospitable.
And have made their way in as well, actually. Now just to the east of landslide, so coming in late, but doing it effectively, and then you take into account they've already got a couple of kills to their name. This is the start of a good game for them. Super Truth, understanding that they've got themselves a big battle they still have to sort of finalize here. If they do push in towards that tunnel, you know that SRY located over there. Then you got potentially Dreamfire and Ant then pushing in behind you. So it's getting quite congested in this area now.
It is. Maybe these two teams have waited a little bit too long. And unfortunately for Truth, they're the ones in the middle. They are the chicken in the chicken sandwich. Not that we see them currently in the lobby, but, you know, just to use a food that you guys might be familiar with at the moment. Dreamfire now. They've got one on the ground. The Newcastle trying to drag him even further, but a well-aimed Seer Tactical will cancel that res from Truth Esports. Tries to get out with the castle wall. Saiyajin God with the sliver of health. He's down. Now with SRY in the tunnel, and Dreamfire have to worry about them as well as Ant on their backs.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Truth. The timing factor, they were pinned down for such a long time by Dreamfire. By the time they were able to get moving, Ant had arrived as well. SRY, of course, in the same vicinity. Roy does get knocked actually by Ken and finished off as well. And actually having that high ground. So kind of what Dreamfire was able to do to Truth and is doing to Dreamfire. So the aggressive Dreamfire match 1 success, match 2 not quite as successful.
The third party, unfortunately for Dreamfire, turns into the fourth party, and they're not the beneficiaries of it. Ant and SRY now the two teams left alive, but SRY have got someone else's castle wall to sit behind and enjoy for the moment. UU does have the Skyward Dive available if Ant feel like they don't want to or can't push through SRY. They can use that to their advantage, or potentially even swing down around past staging. So a couple of options here. They don't necessarily have to, you know, smash their head against the wall. Oh my god. Actually have been eliminated as well. And you can see here, Stinky B today seem to be playing as a duo. They were a duo as well in the first game. Not sure what's the story behind that one, but oh, they didn't grab the kills. I think they were just looting the boxes afterwards. So
Asia close by, A-Flow low on armor. Just watching the map, by the way. Buram started to push out, try and gain some ground with those Watson Petsons. Gopcap has pushed out, so Buram understanding that they've got to play on the outskirts here. They're going to play on the outside. It is kind of shifting over towards Harvester.
yep.
NC, SA, very, very low. In fact, so much so, taken down by Aimbot. No real cover fire by Bolin or Joker. They're kind of pinned down behind the rock here.
Yeah, Bolin, the star of the rally LAN, unfortunately just doesn't seem to be able to, you know, pick DNZ up to his level so far this season, Xenox. They've looked a little bit muted, frankly, and it doesn't look too great for them here on the southern edge of the circle either. Joker and Bolin, the two left alive now, and Emmanuel, someone we did have high hopes for, looking to try and pick this up. Another duo below them as well, actually. Team Up are lurking.
No one necessarily pushing in, though, in towards this position for those that are already inside of the circle. Momo taking some shots. I think that was from Momo, but Article, yeah, actually getting pushed on as well. And Moist, you've got 3 teams out towards staging. So all heading up out towards the west, and now obviously the east, south, north is actually where it's the quiet side at the moment with SRY. They're just sitting pretty in that canyon. Stinky B gone, eliminated. They're out. Obviously for Moist over towards staging, they do have the high ground. They do see teams ahead of them, but they've got teams below them as well in Ant. And
Moist once again. They've picked hearts, and it's come up spades, Xenox. Every time they choose to commit to a position in the ring, the game seems to mess with them and just throw it in the opposite direction. So despite this circle looking like it had a chance to peel over towards staging, we get a Harvester circle, and once again, Moist are having to make this late rotation with a composition that's just not focused around it. Sure, you've got the option with the Valkyrie Skyward Dive, but every time you do it, you're putting yourself at risk, and that's it's been borne out in the point totals that we're seeing out of Moist recently. They're having to go for, you know, look at this, a low ground position. If anyone comes in here above them, they're going to get angles over the top of them. The spot we saw that Dewa had down low, I think a little bit better.
Yeah, and there is a team already above them that's set up. Buram United and Lala Bang's already been able to see them as well. So, I mean, this low ground position is just not going to bode well for Moist Esports. I think they've got really the composition that's going to bode well for them if Buram elect to sort of just peek down and be aggressive onto them. I think Buram, though, just at the moment, playing more so off of their position and don't want to give that up. They don't want to get too overly aggressive and push over to Moist. That is why they're still alive for now.
For now, being the operative part of that statement, Xenox. They have actually managed to find a couple of shots onto someone who might have been even later leaving staging than them, and that's Ant Esports on the low ground. Manuel might even be helping them out from the high ground as well, but as you say, if they keep going, because they're not quite in the zone just yet, they could be at the mercy of Buriram United, the very team that they are trying to keep out from that 4th land spot.
Buram's just not pushing them. Lala Bang just happy to obviously gain as much information as possible with that drone. And in the end, it actually might be Emmanuel who might just be forced to drop down straight on top of Moist. They are. The fences there, of course, there to dissuade them, to punish them a little bit. Asia, A-Flow already cracked low. Same with Chambers. And you got the zone pushing in as well. This just ends up being free kills for Moist as long as they finish it off. And they certainly do. Basically, just points dropping in their lap.
Well, I mean... That's a generous description of it. I mean, that could have gone sideways so easily with Buriram there, with Ant on the bottom side as well. There were a lot of teams who could have made that change.
It's not over for Ant though. Only Holiday left standing. Can Yu down. I don't think Holiday can get into position to go for these revives either. Suddenly, Ant also feeling that same pressure. This is the thing, though. You mentioned Buram, but they're only just now starting to get involved. Jack Cute with the missile swarm from above, so Ant gone. And a big factor for that was Jack, but Lala Bang, Gopgap still not really wanting to get too aggressive. They're playing the position, and that is allowing Moist to still be alive in this position. Waltzy spotting one, but still Moist have done a pretty good job getting out of that canyon, getting out of that low ground position. They've made their way over to the high ground. Obviously, Buram have elected to actually push over to Harvester with them, and quite frankly, 6 other teams. It's only DNZ and Moist Esports that are not in that Harvester position.
Yeah, Moist now getting a decent position here on the high ground. They really had to go, out of the frying pan into the fire just to make it to this spot. But they have been rewarded. It was a tough road. All right, why don't we have a listen in with Moist?
I cracked him. Is high in? They're not really in on high.
Not really.
They play outside, we killed them.
They're going inside, I think.
Okay,
He's
so.
not.
Is anybody right below us?
No, but
let me
there's people on
scan.
the high.
No one right below us.
I'm 12-1, 12-1.
14-1.
I'm 4-0, 4-0. I need shields.
Yeah.
I need shields.
I got 4.
Nice.
I dropped 2. Drop syringes as well if you need them.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna.
There's a team here. That's how. Fuck. How long are these guys in for?
I don't know. We should be able to kill them.
They're in for a while.
It's the stair team split.
I think we have to slide off to like over here on zone close. Like down here. We slide off down here on zone close.
Maybe. Yeah. We get peeked from above though pretty easily.
Okay, we gotta hug this then. We gotta hug them. And
Can we play
focus
in this
these
corner?
guys.
Do you have a gen? Can we play in this corner if you have a gen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We stay up here as long as possible, okay?
Yeah.
I think we have to go from empty side and just like slide in.
Yeah, we do.
We have to play back here and then we just have to like 3, 2, 1 slide into the corner, okay? Pressy?
Yep.
Play from empty side.
Just let me know when.
You get shot on top! You get shot on top!
Back one!
Valk died!
She died! We can maybe third them if they fight.
Do we just get down so we can maybe climb up?
I'm gonna go by myself, I think.
I'm gonna stay up here as long as possible.
Okay,
You stay up here as long as possible,
Shoot
Pricey.
left, shoot left, shoot left.
You stay up as long as possible. I'm fencing this door behind.
What? Shooting!
Crypto dead in the corner!
Jumping on you, empty! What the? What? There's one!
Nice.
Over here, over here!
Dropping down. There's a team on height. There's a team on height.
Yeah, we got a hard
I'm
one.
dropping
Yeah,
again. Yeah,
I need it. I'm trying to draw.
corner.
I have.
Price you.
You guys gotta watch for me.
We can't watch you.
I'm on the wall. Pick it
I'm
up.
Next up, I'm raising. Watch him up, stare above.
I'm trying.
I'm gonna zero.
Yeah, dump it.
Selling.
They're fighting inside. Look at me.
I'm fighting.
They're fighting inside, I think we need a third
Push it.
that.
The Watson's on the other side of your bin.
Watson dead. No, she's. Oh my god.
Well, considering the journey that Moist Esports made, it's not a bad effort. They honestly looked like they were in all sorts of problems earlier on, but they've done well to even get towards this position. 4th place in the end, couple of kills, but too many teams with eyes on their position in the end, and they do falter.
Dewa versus T4 now in the final battle here for game 2. T4 have position underneath, but they've also got the 3v2 advantage right now. Easy flash to Watson down on the ground. Can they bridge the gap between the low ground and the high ground? Looking for armor swaps. This is looking kind of rough.
13 kills for Dewa. They've been able to capitalize on this Harvester POI. T4 down to just 2. Retech is gone. The low ground position, not really the spot where you want to be either for S10 and Co. T4 though end up taking the win somehow over Dewa, despite Dewa getting so many kills towards the end of that game. T4 are your champions of match 2, but that's 2 big games in a row, Genome, from Dewa United, and then the grand scheme of everything, that's 2 big games from them.